Ladies and gentlemen, Steeler Nation, welcome back to another live edition of, I suppose it's going to be called SteelTwins Sunday Night. Normally a SteelTwins Saturday Night, but this was actually impromptu. This was last second to talk about the remaining free agents that the Steelers could still look into. This includes their remaining free agents and free agents from other teams that they could still bring in as the first wave has settled down. Now, could we see Kevin Colbert surf the second wave? I don't know, man. That's why we're here to discuss that tonight with a special guest, man. I want to introduce and welcome back Just Blaze 412, a.k.a. Code Steel, a.k.a. Justin Otto from Steelers Country. What's good, bro?
Hey, that's an introduction, man. I tell you what, too many names. Too many names. I think we should just stick with Cold Steel.
Well, you're the man of many identities.
Multiple personality disorder. Is what I'm going to disclaim with that with you, bro.
I mean, essentially, yeah.
But how does it feel to be back and be in good graces and I suppose good health and just talk Steelers football again, man?
Honestly, it's a blessing, man. It feels great. I was a little nervous last week when I came back to the channel, but once everything was fired up and going and everything was in motion, I'm just happy to be back talking about the Steelers. And I'm even more happy now we're back together for the first time in 2022. And, man, we got the draft coming up.
Yeah, essentially,
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, 1 month away pretty much. And I can't wait. I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, man, we're counting the days down at this point.
Yeah, we are about 4.5 weeks away from being in Pittsburgh once again, man. Man, we haven't been there since the Titans game. That was an adventure. Now we're going to be there again as we do this yearly thing where we make a trip to Pittsburgh for draft week, and it should be very interesting as I don't know exactly what the Steelers are doing for the draft. They've had a quarterback week this week for pro days where they attended Matt Corral, Desmond Ritter, Malik Willis. They're probably going to attend Sam Howell's this upcoming week. I mean, it's a quarterback frenzy. That's another talk for another day. In fact, you talked about it a little bit on Friday night, didn't you?
Yeah, I talked about it. Pretty much every piece of content that I've released since coming back has been quarterback focused. But before coming back, my mindset and where my brain wasn't even anywhere near quarterback. So it's kind of weird. I've been really hoping the Steelers go defense. But, you know, with all the news, with all the pro day visits from the team, my focus kind of shifted temporarily because I do want to get back to other positions, maybe some positions we're going to be talking about tonight. And I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 with that whole thing.
Yeah, because, you know, seeing what they've done, I'm now more open to going after a quarterback or potentially trading up for one specific quarterback. We all know who that is. I don't have to tell you. But you've been suggesting it might be a smokescreen. For what that is, I don't know. It could be a defensive player that could drop. It could lead to something that we're going to need specifically on the defense because we don't know what the future holds for a Terrell Edmunds.
We don't know. Yeah, the safety position is really kind of scary right now because there's not, outside of Edmunds, I don't think, well, and obviously Matthew, but I think we got confirmation today that that's not happening.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I mean, I definitely want the Honey Badger in Pittsburgh. However, the team, and it's very much on display so far in this offseason, they want young talent, which is why they're seeking guys that are coming out of their rookie contracts or guys close to that. And that's what Kevin Colbert said today, which kind of confirms that they're not really interested in bringing him in because he's well past that point.
Yeah, totally.
So if they don't bring back Edmunds, we'll get into what replacements could be.
And you kind of already knew that before Colbert even told you if you just paid attention to who they signed, their age group, and the contracts they came off of. I mean, it was easy to tell what their plan is for the future of the team and how Colbert's trying to set this team up for the next GM and then so. So I don't know if Matthew fits in that. And to be real with you, I don't know why Matthew's still a free agent. I'm hearing he's going to wait till after the draft to weigh his options or what his market is. I don't know. So
there's no rush with him, you know, and rightfully so. He's an established safety in this league. Safety's a position kind of like running back that isn't as valued. That's not my opinion. That's just kind of what it is. So, I mean, he's going to have a spot at some point. There's going to be a team that's going to give him a contract. I just feel like for him, he's not rushing it. And for the Steelers, I mean, again, I feel like they're out of that market now.
I would feel the same way because I just don't see them going after a guy like him. Edmunds is another story, though. I thought a guy like him. Now, think of Edmunds how you want. Okay, he may be garbage, he may be a bust, quote unquote, he may be average, he may be solid. However you want to think of Edmunds, go ahead. But you have to admit that a guy like him who is still young and has played every single down ever since coming into the league, has not missed one game since coming into the league. You figured a guy of that trait and that dependability and that responsibility, you figured he'd be off the market by now. So what does that have to say about his market? Is that more so an Edmunds thing? Is he weighing options? Is he waiting for the Steelers to give him a proper?
I think it's just it's not too many teams that are looking for safety. I don't really think it has anything to do with him specifically, and I'm personally believing that the Steelers did more than likely offer him a contract extension. Or trying to re-sign him, I should say.
Right.
But like I told you off stream, maybe there's some bad blood there because they didn't pick up the fifth year option. And also, the fan base hasn't been very nice to him over the years, obviously. I would even argue he hasn't technically or lived up to that first round caliber.
No.
But even with that, I mean, like you said, and what you're alluding to here, he's been solid. To an extent. I mean, he's a solid tackler. He had a few times he missed tackles, but I don't know. I feel like he's improved over the years.
I agree.
Enough so that I feel comfortable with the team going back to Edmunds, with his age and everything else. If not, then, the draft. I really don't see any other options for safety.
Yeah, it's either, like you said, Edmunds or the draft. Now, there's other free agents that's out there that we'll get into right now since we're on the obviously safety topic and free agents that they could still bring in. And we're going to talk about specific guys that fit what the Steelers are aiming for. Young guys that are coming off very few contracts, more so their rookie contracts or their first contract. So we're going to look towards those guys, not really much of a Tyrann Mathieu, because I think I agree with Code here is that he might be out our reach now just based on the fact that, one, his market might be too much, or two, he's just out of our age reach that we're looking for.
We gotta think he's almost 30 years old.
Right.
We're not really looking for guys of his age at the moment. Every free agent that we've brought in is either 26 or younger. So we're going to look at that type of aspect when it comes to these free agents, or that we could still look into.
Now, ultimately, I do hope we do eventually bring back Edmunds. There's still time, and we do have the cap to bring him back for however long that is. That could just be an extra 1-year deal, like similar to like a 5th-year option, I suppose. But ultimately, that might not be the case. They could aim towards the draft. They have looked at some of the top guys, some of day 2 guys, or they could still go out of the way and go for a second wave in free agency and grab a guy in the free agency pool, and that could be some of these guys listed here. Tyrann Mathieu's at the top, but we're already going to write him off for now. I think that's all a pipe dream at this point in time. We had a little hopes like a week or 2 ago, but I don't know if that's more of a reality anymore. That's more so of an ultimate wet dream at this point, if I'm being real with you. But guys that could fit the bill of what Steelers are looking for, if they do want to secure a starting strong safety opposite of Minakh before the draft, that could be a guy like a Keon O'Neal, who you and us all looked at his draft class year. He was ultimately drafted by the Falcons in the first round, I believe. He previously worked for the Cowboys last year as a safety/linebacker and did really well. And now he said he's going to switch back to safety to try to open his market a little more. So maybe he's a guy we could bring in. He's good in the run defense. Obviously an ultimate strong, hard-hitting safety. So
the age is right around what the Steelers are definitely looking for when it comes to free agency. He's got that first-round pedigree that the Steelers absolutely adore when it comes to
he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
So
and another name that absolutely speaks on what Rob just said, that first-round pedigree, a guy they looked at the draft class that they were in, was also Jabril Peppers, obviously drafted in the first round by the Browns out of Michigan, and then ultimately traded to the Giants and himself is still a free agent, which I find a little hard to believe. That might be due to the injury he suffered last year, but
Yeah.
I still find it hard to believe a guy like Peppers, who's versatile and still very young and still has a lot to offer, is on the market. And I don't understand why, but he also fits the bill of what the Steelers are looking for, and obviously is someone the Steelers looked at during his draft process.
No, I remember a lot of Steelers fans, myself included, wanted to be a part of the Steelers defense. Ultimately, it didn't happen, and it's still a big possibility. Since I truly believe he still has a role with some team in the NFL, and that could be Pittsburgh.
Could be, honestly. When I look at these names, those are the two guys that immediately pop out to me. Obviously, there's some other guys, like, again, Tyrann Mathieu, Landon Collins, maybe. A Kareem Jackson could be a nice veteran aspect, but he's 33 years old. So outside of Neal and Peppers, and obviously bringing back Edmunds, the pool of bringing anyone in is not really that stacked. I mean, DeMonte Casey, who played for Dallas as well last year.
And I've heard that the Steelers have shown some interest in him.
But he's also out the age range because he's 28, going to be 29 in a few short months. So when I look at what the Steelers are looking for, at who they're trying to bring in now, and what they've already done for agency and how they're going to try to continue it, if they do sign other guys before the draft, those are guys that pop out to me initially. But ultimately, I think they're still going to ultimately try to bring Edmunds back, as would I. I just don't know if it gets done.
Yeah, when you look at this list, I mean, Edmunds is probably the safest bet. And as you guys already said, I mean, the age group with all the other guys outside of Peppers and Neal is a little on the older side.
Yeah.
And I really do believe Colbert, because that's what they're showcasing to us so far in this free agency. They're going young. They're going after guys that are fresh out of a rookie contract or literally in that zone. And those are the guys that they're bringing in. So if they don't bring back Edmunds, then that clearly tells me within the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft this year, we're going to go safety.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing I like about that ability is, first of all, say what you want about us developing defensive backs, but you can say that in the last 4 or 5 years-ish,
At least recently.
we've had a little more success. And that's
A little bit more. I would agree.
Edmunds, in my opinion, would be part of that group. You got Cam Sutton, Mike Hilton. You could throw in, what's his name? Kello Witherspoon. You could throw in a James Pierre. Trey Norwood last year. So, I mean, the list isn't mind-blowing, but it's pretty decent. So, I could absolutely see them addressing safety, and they also have the flexibility to do so now since they don't have as many needs. So, when you look at the draft, there's not a lot of immediate needs the Steelers need to focus on.
No.
So, safety, wherever they draft them, that could be day 1, that could be day 2. All I know is if they don't address it, they will address it early. And they've met with some of the top guys. Lewis Seen. There's been a Jaquan Brisker. There's been a Daxton Hill. There's been a Nick Cross. There's been many guys, man, that they've looked at. They're obviously doing their due diligence, similar to what they are doing with quarterbacks. So they're keeping all options on the table, and if anything were to come down to it, they're going to keep their eyes open for any of those guys. And I think that's a great philosophy to look at, man.
Yeah, definitely.
But another position I'm looking at that the Steelers could still address, or a guy that they could still bring back, as well as on the defense, edge depth. Because
and we know how edge depth was last year. We were basically playing hot potato with that position. We know the guys that we had and we let go. I mean, nobody really remained on the team.
No. Roche didn't make the final cuts. Melvin Ingram requested the trade. I know.
Yeah.
And what was that dude's name? He went to the Rams afterward.
Jones. What the hell was his name? What was his first name?
Jameer Jones. Yeah, I mean, the edge depth last year was a mess. It was an absolute colossal dumpster fire just because of how many guys we brought in and guys that left. They're pretty much here for a cup of coffee, to be real with you. Taco Charlton came in late into the season after we traded Melvin Ingram and actually did very solid, and he's still a free agent. And I'm surprised the Steelers haven't brought him back yet, and they still could because he's still out on the market, and I think he'd be a very good rotational guy. He did it last year in solid steps. He's been tossed around from teams ever since being drafted in the first round by the Cowboys. So, he hasn't had a permanent spot, and hopefully he found his home in Pittsburgh because he could very well find his role finally somewhere as a rotational guy behind Highsmith, behind TJ Watt. I remember vividly at that Titans game, we were all there. Cold, me, Rob, man, we were all there watching it. And Taco was the one that deflected the pass in the air that allowed Schobert to get that late interception.
Yeah.
So that speaks to me every time I think of Taco Charlton. And I think bringing him back would be very cheap, very affordable.
As that rotational role at edge, I mean, that just fits Taco perfectly right now in the stage of his career.
And, of course, he has that first-round pedigree the Steelers love in their defensive guys or their guys on the roster in general. So I feel like he's an easy guy we could absolutely bring back, and I don't know why they haven't yet.
I think we could see some signings this week, if I'm being honest, because last week was so much pro day, action. This week's going to be a little less, like last week was. And I think that kind of played a part into why the Steelers didn't make as many moves. It was very quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet all around the NFL in general.
But I will say, Steelers Nation don't expect them to blow the lid off this week either. I mean, but I feel like we're going to get at least one or two signings to kind of give us some answers in certain areas. Maybe Taco comes back. I don't know.
I would hope so, especially at edge, because I feel like we really have to secure that because outside of TJ and Alex Highsmith, I mean, we don't really have many guys on the roster that we can actually say will remain on the roster. Like, we have some familiar names, I suppose, from previous teams, but I don't know if they'll actually be consistently on the roster. I think we need guys that can be truly dependable and guys that can be asked to step up if needed to. Taco is one of those guys.
Yeah.
But maybe they go in the free agency mark and go after more first-round pedigree. And those guys that pop out to me is Takk McKinley. Defensive end, he previously played for Cleveland. He was drafted in the first round by the Falcons. He's still only 26. He's going to be 27 shortly, but he kind of fits the age range and has the first-round pedigree the Steelers would love and an edge guy.
You know what else, too, I want to mention before I forget? Tomlin said today, and I was wondering this myself, if you notice, they've been signing guys to pretty much 2-year contracts.
Yep.
He's calling it a buy, not a rent, because some people feel like, oh, we're just renting these guys. They're here, like, as you say, a cup of coffee. That's not actually true, though. And I like how Tomlin worded that. Like, these are buy guys.
Right.
Meaning, if they produce, they'll get extended.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but for the majority. If Miles Jack comes in here and kills the next year or so, he'll probably get an extension.
Yeah.
So I really like what we're doing this offseason. And this was expected. Complete change all around the board.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm not saying that we're going to go to a Super Bowl or anything like that, but it's exciting. This is different, and we're getting something different coming into this new year.
And I love the way they work contracts. You notice with all these guys, they're 2/3-year rentals and very cap-friendly for at least this upcoming year. That gives them the ability to, one, restructure future contracts, but also ensures they don't trap themselves in long-term deals, which obviously the Steelers never do, and that's one of the reasons why they aren't always financially
unstable, let's say that, when it comes to
we're not the Cleveland Browns, essentially, putting freaking millions and millions of dollars into a guy that you don't even know. He sat out for a year. He has issues in other places that we're not going to talk about here, but
when it comes to a business aspect for the Steelers,
organization.
When it comes to a business aspect, the Steelers are incredibly smart about that.
Yeah, or another example of that is the Jags. They spent so much money on mid players. I mean, they gave Christian Kirk almost $20 million a year, and he hasn't even had a 1,000-yard season ever in his career.
By the way, I saw somebody in chat said the Steelers are going to be fourth. I completely disagree with that.
I disagree as well.
And if you're a Steelers fan, that is embarrassing because even though we lose Ben and the team's looking different, it has been very long since we've had a losing season.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I don't see us being behind the Browns.
And most of that credit, obviously, Ben was with the team, and he's a big reason for that. But I think some of the credit has to go to Tomlin as well.
Let's not forget 2019 when Ben went down and he had to rely on Mason Rudolph and Devlin Duck Hodges.
Our quarterback room is not that bad. Our quarterback room is not as bad as that. Let me tell you right now.
Why must you bring up nightmares?
I know. Hey, that season was fun, man.
It was though. It really was. And it's because we're so used to having Big Ben as our quarterback that something like that is just like you're not used to it.
And I'm getting that sense this upcoming year with Mitch and whoever else is going to be at the quarterback position because I don't know what to expect, but I like that fun aspect, that unknowing. Yeah, it's scary, but it's very exciting to me. because I want to see what Tomlin does with his first year fully without Ben, leaning on nothing but the defense and the rushing game with Najee.
Yeah.
Oh, and plus the draft is still to come, so that itself gets me excited to see what they could do, man. And Colbert,
I guess this guy in chat has a crystal ball. He's saying we're going to be fourth, so.
if that's your opinion, I respect it. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Because Watson's going to be, I suppose, suspended for I don't know how long. I'd imagine.
Yeah, and he's going to be suspended long enough to where it actually does affect their record.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're not, I guarantee you by the time the season begins, they're not going to have Baker to fall on.
No.
So who's their guy behind Deshaun Watson?
Jacoby Brissett.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean.
And I will say this. He's not absolutely terrible, but
No.
could be worse.
Yeah, it could be, typical Cleveland Browns worse, but yeah. Lean on.
I'm confident, though, that we'll be competitive this year.
Yeah.
Especially when I would feel differently if we didn't have this defense.
Oh, absolutely. And
The
how
Steelers are literally a defensive line away from being scary.
and that includes Tua coming back, or that includes picking someone up in the draft.
Yeah. We have some guys in mind, too.
But speaking of we do. Speaking of the front seven, let's get back on topic here. One more name I want to mention, because you notice with this depth list, all these guys are aging, especially at the top of the list. They're aging. They're guys the Steelers will not target whatsoever. That's why I name out a guy like Tack McKinley, a first-round pedigree that makes a lot of sense. Or even Solomon Thomas. I don't know if he's a complete edge guy. He's more of a versatile interior guy, but that could be an addition as well. How about Arden Key? He was a third-round pick for the Raiders and signed a one-year deal with the 49ers last year and broke out with 6.5 sacks as a backup. And he's still only 25 years old. So I think he could be a very nice rotational piece if we were to go out there and grab someone like that. Or ultimately, we could just re-sign Taco.
Which I think ultimately that would be the cheaper option. And I think the safest bet at the same time.
Because he's already been on the roster.
Exactly.
And I think Taco proved more than his point to potentially remain with the team as an edge piece. As depth piece for edge, specifically.
Absolutely. But outside of that, there's safety, there's edge depth. I'll mention receiver. We need a receiver. Juju, Ray, and Washington's all gone, went to their respective new teams. But are there guys out there that the Steelers will actually pick up that fit the bill of what they're trying to pick up? There's not a lot of guys out there that speak that to me. If you look at the list. In fact, I'll put the list up for you. I'm going to get the wide receiver list, and let's take a look. When I looked at it earlier, there wasn't many guys that spoke out to me. Maybe I missed something. Maybe the chat can add something. Cole, maybe if you see someone, you could bring him in. But when I look at the receiver list, Jarvis Landry pops out, but he's 29, going to be 30 soon.
And he wants what, like $20 million or something like that?
That's what I heard. I don't know if I can believe it, but he's not getting that.
That's a lot.
That's too much for anyone, actually. But when I look at this list, there's no one that fits the bill. Although I agree with the fact that we definitely need a leader at the receiver position.
Yeah, it's a nice veteran aspect to the wide receiver group, because that's something that we've missed for a while, and it's something that I would like the Steelers to look into. I just don't think that they will with what they've done this offseason and with the guys that they've been bringing in.
I got to be honest, too. If there's one thing I've noticed, I feel like some of the guys we bring, like guys that aren't from our draft camp, we bring these guys in that were drafted by other teams, receivers specifically.
Right.
Don't always work out.
Yeah. I mean, it's very rare,
I'm trying to think of somebody we brought in wide receiver wise, because we brought in Miller last year but didn't use him, so I can't really speak on him.
And Dante Moncrief didn't work out.
Right.
Lance Moore in 2014 didn't really work out. I'm trying to think of who else.
If I can recall one free agent from another team that we brought in that at least did something good, is probably Jericho Cotchery when he had 10 touchdowns that one year.
Yeah, that was in 2012, I think.
But that's about it.
Of course, that was a younger Ben that was, getting into that, what we all know him as.
Yeah, so that was a while ago. So that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. Guys we bring in via free agency at the receiver position don't necessarily work out.
And I feel like it's because we draft so well at receiver that really makes me believe, and you guys even said it millions of times, that I would be surprised if we didn't draft a guy in the second round.
I think we can guarantee for sure they are
There's
drafting.
nobody on this list that's jumping out to me. I mean, Julio Jones, forget about it. I know some people in chat and on Twitter have been, get him, just because he's a name. But no, after what happened with Tennessee last season and what, his last year with the Falcons.
Absolutely not.
I'm kind of good, bro.
Absolutely not.
Just at this stage, too unreliable.
Too unreliable. I mean, he's up. The age doesn't fit with what Colbert and company are looking for.
No.
Somebody in chat just said Hayward Bay. That's another. Well, he kind of worked out, right?
Hayward Bay did work. Darius Hayward Bay.
Yeah, to an extent.
More
To an extent.
To an extent, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Shout out to Hayward Bay, number 88. Yeah, you're kind of right there.
He didn't break records or anything, but
No. But yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the latest.
As an extra, as a dip piece, an extra hand, I suppose so.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we never went to free agency and brought in Antonio Brown and Hines Ward. Who else? I mean, we can go down the list. Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, the list goes on and on.
There wasn't ever a receiver in modern times, that is.
Right.
At least not that I remember.
That's why I didn't really bring up receiver too much into the discussion, because I doubt they would sign someone. Even though we do need a leader, I just don't see it.
No, I mean, we've always had a tendency to develop guys, not sign guys.
But I can guarantee you.
Who is the oldest guy now? Is it Claypool or
Deontay maybe?
I think it might be right.
Or maybe Miller? Maybe Miller.
No, because he's like 27 or something. I think it might be Anthony Miller. I don't know.
That's the oldest guy in the room, man.
Man.
It's going to get younger when we draft a receiver in the second round, because I hate to break people's hearts. If they want this, they're not going receiver first round. And I wrote an article on SteelersCountry.com about it, why the Steelers will not draft a receiver in the first round. I mean, you guys should already know they don't value first-round receivers because they've had so much success in the second and third rounds.
And the past decade, yeah.
It's just anywhere. Hines Ward was
I think the last guy was Santonio Holmes, right?
Santonio Holmes was the last first-rounder. And before,
that was that was forever ago. So
and before that was Plaxico Burress. They don't find much value at receiver first round because they have so much success later on. So what's the point of valuing first round guys when our resume speaks so greatly in the second, third round, or even day 3? Yeah. So they're not going receiver first round, but I can guarantee it's going to be second round. And there's many names out there, so many names, man, that they could absolutely bring in. But I suppose the last position we can talk about that the Steelers should absolutely address, I don't know if they will. They might do it in the draft, but I think we need a veteran aspect behind Najee. I think we need a number 2 running back, and I don't think our resume of drafting a number 2 running back has done well. Now, this year there's a few exceptions for me, so I'm more open to it a little bit this year if they draft the right guy. But our resume doesn't speak greatly. So I still hope they go out the way and grab a veteran running back behind Najee, similar to what they do with LeGarrette Blount and D'Angelo Williams specifically.
Yeah.
I wish those situations worked out a little bit better than they did, but
yeah. I mean, D'Angelo Williams was great, but obviously he was too old to last too much longer.
Yeah. And LeGarrette Blount, we know what happened.
We all know what happened. But when I look at the running back room, and for agents, obviously Melvin Ingram's the top name, but I don't know if we bring him in just because, one, his market's too much, but also I don't know if we use him enough to afford him.
Yeah.
So
not to mention our luck with Ingram's isn't really.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
It's not working out too well, man.
Yeah, our luck with Melvins are just not. I don't know why, man. But Tariq Cohen, I know he's injured, and he fits the age bill, and he's a return specialist too. He fits a lot of positions we could use, but his injuries last year, he was released on an injury designation, so I don't know how his injury is. Otherwise, I'd love to bring him in.
Yeah, I've heard no update about Tariq Cohen on how he is on a health basis. I mean, the injuries are definitely a big concern.
I could totally see the Steelers going that direction with him too.
Yeah. Or if not, then maybe a Phillip Lindsay, who's very similar. A much greater underdog story. He was undrafted and had 2 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons with the Broncos. Ultimately, they cut him for some reason. I thought him and Javonte Williams could have been one hell of a duo. But ultimately, they cut him. He went to Houston, then he went to Miami, and now he's back on the free agency list.
Yeah.
2,000-yard straight seasons as an undrafted rookie is very impressive. So I think he has a lot to offer, and he's a speedster, man. He's also great in the receiving game. I'd love to bring him in, and he somewhat fits the age bill. So I'd love to bring him in as a number 2. If not him, then Marlon Mack. He's a guy that was floating around for trade rumors that we could have traded a late pick, a very late pick actually, last year during before the end of the trade deadline. Thank you.
Right.
To grab him up from the Colts, but
he just sat on the bench for the rest of the year, and I'm actually surprised he's still available there because when Mack is healthy, he's a very competitive and a quality running back when healthy, when on the field.
He was also a former 1,000-yard rusher at one point.
He was.
Before they got Jonathan Taylor. So I'd like to bring him in, and he could offer a nice backup role for sure.
Or if you want to look at Sony Michel right up here, when he was drafted by the Patriots in the first round a few years ago, when we were kind of trying to look a running back at the time when Connor wasn't really panning out.
And he has that first-round pedigree, and obviously the Rams trade for him when Cam Akers went down early last year, so they had trust in him to fill in and work in a rotational role, so he could fit the bill nicely as well. Sony Michel could. Or I'm going to add lastly maybe a Jerick McKinnon. He's a little more out of the age reach of what they're looking for, but McKinnon has all the tools as well. He was a great rotational back for KC, obviously for the 49ers, for the Vikings. Good receiving back. If only he could remain a little more healthy, but he's got the speed that we could use on the offense as well behind Najee. So those are guys I'm going to aim toward if we were to actually go out of our way and sign a number 2 running back. Fingers crossed they do. I ultimately don't think they will because they might like some guys day 3.
Yeah.
And my stance on that remains the same. I'm tired of these day 3 bums that we just don't have success with. But
you've been saying that for too long.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
look at our running back depth chart right now. It's Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland. Like, they have not panned out whatsoever.
Yeah, and
man, boy, was I wrong about Benny Snell.
I think a lot of us were.
You're not alone, bro. I was excited when we grabbed him.
I know, but I kind of pulled for him probably a little too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's okay to admit when you're wrong.
Especially like after that week 1 game versus the Giants a few years back, and we're like, oh, start him over Connor.
And it never happened whatsoever. Even when Snell got playing time, I mean, he never panned out whatsoever. Not a damn bit.
No.
I don't know what happened to Benny Snell football, but I think he left that back in Kentucky.
So I am not heavy on day 3 backs for the Steelers just based on resume, but I'm a little open this year just because there's a few exceptions, especially later on.
There's some guys and one very specific guy that really has our attention.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I honestly feel like that could be a video separate.
It could be
if
actually.
I'm being real.
It could be actually, and I'm not going to name the guy, but he is in our next mock draft, which will be uploaded Wednesday, I believe. I believe it will be Wednesday. We're doing a collab, I think, tomorrow. At some point this week, we're doing a collab with Steel Sentinel for a mock draft. So that should be interesting. I don't know what his mock's going to look like, but it's going to be interesting to see what his mock looks like compared to ours, because this is our first mock, post-free agency, post-pro days, all that. So you can look forward to that later this week for sure. But the guy we're talking about is in our next mock draft.
Yeah.
As is a safety. I will spoil that. I'm not going to tell you which round. I'm not going to tell you who. Cole knows who, but I'm not going to tell you. But a safety is in there as of now just because we have not signed anyone, and we don't have a starting strong safety opposite Minakh yet. That's all I'm going to tell you. In the first round, you guys can absolutely guess who it is. But that's that, man. That's our mock draft coming up.
Yeah, coming up later this week with Steel Sentinel.
Yeah,
collab.
Hopefully it's up by.
I'm looking forward to it too.
Hopefully by Wednesday we can get that uploaded because we're trying to make this a consistent Wednesday theme. I think there's going to be 3 more mocks.
At least that's the plan for now.
Yeah, 3 more mocks, including this upcoming week. So this upcoming week, then I think there's going to be 1 in 2 weeks, and then 1 right before draft day. I think that's what our schedule is going to be like for the next mock drafts. Right before, obviously, the NFL draft, which is coming up very shortly, 1 month away. That's insane.
Yeah. Like, the draft is almost here. It's approximately a month away right now, basically. It's crazy.
Don't keep reminding me because then it just makes the wait so much more,
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
hard to deal with, man, because I don't think people realize, like, we've been doing this for years now, with the exception of one, which was the pandemic year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But outside of that, it's like we've essentially been the Pittsburgh every draft. We made it a thing. It's an annual thing we do. And for whatever reason, this year just feels special.
Yeah.
Life is kind of getting back to normal. Things are coming back that have been gone for a while. And more importantly, this is the first year that Ben's gone.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new team. It's just a whole different vibe.
And definitely a highly anticipated, draft coming up. Like, at this point, I really don't know what the Steelers go.
I'm excited, and I do hope they do have that draft party or Fan Fest, whatever they call it.
Fan Blitz.
Fan Blitz, thank you, at Heinz Field. It's not announced yet. There's rumors. I think you wrote an article on Steelers Country, right, about it?
Yes.
Hey, fingers crossed.
Which, by the way, as far as I know, it still hasn't been officially announced. And I haven't seen any other Steelers blog or media source report any of this. I think we're the only ones talking about it. But I'm 100% convinced it's coming back.
Let's see if I can find that article.
I mean, why else would that graphic be on Ticketmaster,
I don't know, man.
Listen, I sure hope so because, I'd love to get back in the
Heinz
Field.
The draft this year is using some kind of, I don't even know what it's called, but it's a very unique font. And when you look it up, that is the font that they're using. So it's definitely, it says 2022.
There's the article right there, man. There's the article you wrote a few weeks ago, actually. It says Steelers draft party returns for 2022 in Pittsburgh. I don't know, man. Is that what you've seen? It does say 2022 draft party right there in the font they're using. You're right.
They just haven't officially announced it yet.
You can look it up on Google too if you type in Steelers. I think if you type in draft party or even if you do fan blitz, I think that's actually how I found it, was typing in fan blitz.
Okay.
Which is not what they're calling it anymore. I think they changed it a couple years back.
Let me search it. Let me see. Steelers fan blitz.
And type in Ticketmaster. It should pop up.
Yeah, Ticketmaster. Boom.
Because that's where I pulled that image from. And again, why else would they have that if, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
And for those in chat, if you haven't been to Pittsburgh during the fan blitz or what they call now the draft party, you are missing out.
Yes, you are.
Especially if you're capable of going there. Like if you're like us and you're only a few hours away, take the drive. It's the tickets are cheap. You get to meet hundreds, if not thousands it's definitely thousands of Steelers fans. And more importantly, and the Twins will tell you this, you can go inside the locker room.
Yep.
Yes.
You're on the field. And there's players there to sign autographs. There's great food, and more important, you're in Heinz. So, and of course, the beautiful city. So,
yes, of course,
it's worth going to, especially if you're close by. And again, the tickets are cheap.
And you can actually walk on the field, man.
You can walk on the field, do certain drills.
You can kick field goals, bro. You could challenge Chris Boswell for the starting job. I
don't know if anybody's going to beat him out of that.
So again, it's not officially announced, but why else would that be there?
I don't know either.
It's just, I didn't put that there. You know what I mean? It's on Ticketmaster.
Well, whatever it means, man, I hope it means good because I want to go back to Heinz Field.
Listen, whenever they announce it, you can tell them on bet.
Well, we're doing that regardless.
Yeah.
We did that last year, which honestly was great because there was no one there. If you remember last year, we went to Steelers Shop, Shop. It was empty. It was completely empty.
It really was.
But by that,
when we went there for the game, it was completely full. It was packed. It was insane.
But I want to actually go inside Heinz Field, go on the field again.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while. Touching that grass. Which, by the way, a little pro tip: if you do go and they are having it, which I'm 99.9% sure they are. If you go in the locker room, just make sure you don't step on the logo.
Yes,
because they will yell at you.
I will yell at you.
You do not step on the emblem or the logo on the floor.
I will be the first person to absolutely scream at you.
All right, you can't be Juju. You got to respect that thing.
Damn, you went there.
I went there, bro.
You didn't even hesitate, and I can respect that.
Well, it's just I remember when he did that. I was kind of like, come on, bro.
Yeah, you just got to be honest. Would you want someone doing that on your logo? Because I don't.
That's why he got smacked.
There's a thing though about not, come on.
Yeah. Even when college players do it. Like they huddle at the team logo at the what's it called? At the 50-yard line at the
center of the field.
Yeah, center of the field. Hell, the Titans did it at the Steelers-Titans game. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't do it.
No.
You just don't do it, man.
Yeah, anything you guys can think of in the chat as far as like being in places you normally wouldn't be allowed to, you can do that.
Yes.
I mean, me and the Twins, we saw everything inside the locker rooms, from the maintenance rooms, the equipment rooms, which was awesome. Now, granted, you can't go in there, but you can walk by and see everything. And it's interesting to see like holes in the wall. You're like, how'd that happen?
Yeah,
I remember we had a whole debate. Like, did Antonio Brown do that?
Yes, there was a legit hole in the wall
in the locker room,
and I would love to know the story behind it. Now, I want to know if it's actually still there.
I still have the pictures. I found them the other night.
Did you actually, get the picture of the hole in the wall?
Yeah. Yeah, I have all of the, like, almost every year except for last year. I got to figure out where the hell those are, but yeah, I have them all, man. All the pictures.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And the great thing is, you go into the locker room, right? You go into the locker room, and you see the lockers and all the equipment and all that, which is really cool. They even have a nice display case of all the old caps.
I'm laughing because I just remembered. Everyone that was a part of my channel knows that last year I was miserable, and I kind of took some of that out on Ben. I was very negative about Ben in his last season, but the funny thing is, I have a picture at Ben's locker, holding his helmet.
I actually forgot about that.
I think I might end up making that my profile picture on Twitter.
Really?
But the irony of that, is.
But when you go out the locker room, there is literally, like, you see it in every video thing the Steelers do, right? The Men of Steel emblem, the football, it's there and it's awesome and you can touch it.
You always see the players pounding on it before they go out.
Yep, because it's right, because you walk out the locker room, you see it.
It's literally right in front of you.
And then you go to the left and there's the stairs and they go right down to the tunnel and then they run out to the tunnel onto the field. Dude, it's an experience.
Which you get to do. You actually get to walk that same tunnel.
I got to do the TJ Watt shit, bro.
By the way, we have pictures with that.
Yeah, you're right.
In fact, it was that year where we were at the lockers. And I remember that was the year that Bell was gone.
Yep.
And if you remember, they did not have his locker set up.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
And that's how we knew. We knew right there, okay, this is not good.
Yeah.
Bell's gone. Yes, somebody asked, can you see the trophies? Yep. They usually, every year they have them somewhere different, but they're always on display, so you can take pictures with them.
Yeah.
Like the actual trophies. Now, they will be inside of a case, but yes, they usually have all of them on display.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what sucks, though? I never really got to get a picture with those yet, though.
No, I mean,
because it's always crowded.
Yeah.
Same with player. I think it's kind of weird. All the years we've been there, we didn't really get too many autographs because. No,
there'll definitely be some former Steelers players. I remember Matt Spaeth was that one.
But I think the reason is because we were more interested in going in the lockers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
like
but if any of you guys are going to be there this year, we'll definitely be there. So look around for us.
And that will be day 3 of the draft, which obviously, if they have the draft party, they'll show it on the Titantron. You'll hear it throughout the stadium. So you're not missing anything. So you'll still be able to see it. So that's an awesome experience there while you're still walking about.
Man, we actually made it on that Titantron.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for the Titans game. Yes,
you're absolutely right. Yeah, we all took a little group photo. It was us, Code, our sister. We took a group photo, and it actually got on the Titantron, which is really cool.
We have that picture somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's in the community tab under our channel. Actually, it's even on our Twitter and Instagram, which I rarely use Instagram, by the way. But Steel@_twins. Instagram and @SteelTwins on Twitter.
@_twins. It's @Steel_twins.
Yeah, you get what I mean.
I don't want to confuse. I don't want to confuse the viewers here. Why am I correcting you so much today?
See, this is why I don't handle the social media shit because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I'm hardly on social media.
Sunday is not Dan's day right now.
No, it's not. See, this is what happens when we don't have football on Sundays. I don't know what to do in my life without football, without without Sundays, without NFL kickoff on Sundays, bro.
We talk about football and we watch Michael Jordan documentaries.
Yeah.
Basically.
Which, yeah, I still gotta watch episode 2.
Or we do, like when you guys came over today, I had the Super Bowl XL DVD.
Yep.
Playing on the PS5 here.
Yep.
Yeah, look back at the old school Steelers teams, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of these guys that are up here right now, actually, Palomalu and Ward.
Yeah, new background, by the way. I don't know if any of y'all noticed, but the Steelers players with
It was Ben.
I got it. It was Ben. It was Claypool. It was Watt, and it was Juju. Obviously, Juju's with the Chiefs now, so no point in having that up there.
PJ, I can't speak for Twins, but that interview, I know what you're talking about. I've seen some of it, but I'm gonna have to watch the full thing. Definitely gonna tune into that after this.
Tomlin's interview.
Yes.
Oh, like an exclusive interview on Steelers.com or something?
I believe so. I think that's where he was kind of talking about the direction of, what they're doing as far as the free agency and draft. And
yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm definitely going to have to check it out, too.
I've seen a few things on Twitter, but I actually...
By the way, Mason Rudolph's interview with Rich was pretty poor.
Yeah, that was...
a little disappointing, honestly.
Yeah, it wasn't really much of a football talk outside maybe the first 5 minutes.
Nah, I feel like they were, making fun of him in a not-so-subtle way.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of the interview. It wasn't really,
I give props to Mason though. He handled it with a absolute, just
there it is.
Class.
Look, BMK says season ticket holders have been notified of the draft party, so it's definitely happening.
Awesome,
great.
Because for those who don't know, there is some VIP type members like season ticket holders. They have a special section that you can go to where they have raffles and. What else do they have there? You remember?
I don't.
Honestly, I don't know how we got in there. I don't think we were supposed to be in there, but
I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, we did get in there somehow. It was an SNU.
Yeah, because there's a story
membership
that I don't want to talk about on stream, but Bobby's laughing because
I'll be respectful.
Oh man,
it's funny as
maybe
shit,
someday, maybe someday we'll bring that up.
And it cracks me up every time you tell the story. I'm not gonna lie.
And shout out to Still Logic and Still Dictate, man. That's why I met those two at it was in that area in Heinz Field a few years back. It was actually the draft we got Bush was when I actually met those two. So shout out to those two, man. Great to meet them, and gotta catch up again at some point.
Hey, like I said, if any of you guys end up being at the draft party, we'll definitely be there.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll be there.
Now, I'll be with my family, but definitely don't be afraid to approach us.
Yes, for sure. Since we're going to be there in Pittsburgh for pretty much half the week for the draft week. Do you want to announce something for draft week, man?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I'll give you the honors, man.
No, you do it.
I don't know how
I'm putting you on the spot. Sunday, come on.
Sunday. Damn, bro. This is not my day.
I'm saying you're having a bad day.
All right,
we got to work this out.
All right, so I don't know the exact plans for the live streaming there in Pittsburgh.
Well, let me say this. I'm not live streaming on the Steelers Country channel.
Okay.
Because my focus is going to be on getting actual website content and then pre-recorded videos.
Okay.
So the plan is we're going to be going live over here on the SteelTwins channel. But once again, I'm going to be kind of playing like a sideshow. Which, yeah. Did you want to announce what we're doing the upcoming season?
Now, this isn't confirmed yet, but
no, because we still got to work the details out. But
the details and the viewing and all that. But I think the plan for watch parties this year is, I think the plan is that Cole's going to join us for the watch parties this year.
In person.
In person, yes. He'll be actually with us watching the game, so we'll be able to see same time reactions and whatever happens for next year's season. So he'll be here in person on our channel for the watch parties. But whenever we can do it due to scheduling and work and all that, he will still be able to do his watch parties on his channel whenever he's free.
Yeah, and majority, like just being realistic, majority of the subscribers from my channel have come from the watch parties because that's what people enjoyed from my content. But
that was some great watch parties last year,
with
man.
me launching the website, I right now, because I'm the only person running everything, I got to have all hands on deck. So it just makes sense that we collaborate together on your channel. I'm still going to be doing a live stream after the game, but and then of course, as you mentioned, certain games like Monday Night Football, Thursday, I'll probably do watch parties and cover that on my channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, as of right now, that is kind of the goals for this upcoming season. I know that might disappoint some people because I do think people enjoyed the Cold Steel watch parties. They were definitely entertaining last year.
Yours was top notch in production and commentary and just reactions, bro. Like,
I'll admit, guys, I was a miserable bastard last year. I said a lot of crazy stuff. Not gonna lie to you.
yeah.
They're still up to watch if you want to. If you don't believe me, some of them got really wild. But
especially that Lions game. I don't want to bring up the bad memory of that game because that was freaking ridiculous.
Eventually, I am going to sit down and rewatch them because there's
they're
a lot of nuggets.
They're classics, man. They're great.
Just so many reactions that were like the Ben reaction. I forget what game it was, but man, I chucked the pen at the camera.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I do. I forget what game that was, but yeah, I do remember that.
Oh, but Lord. Anyways, yeah, we're the plan is we're switching things up this year because I have the actual website, and I'll be playing kind of like the third wheel type guy, whatever. And whenever these guys can't do the watch party, we'll just do them over on my channel. I still get to do a few watch parties a year.
Yeah.
And eventually that could change maybe in a season 2 once we start getting other people interested in writing on the website.
Oh, totally. So. And don't get it wrong. I mean, you'll still have your reactions and commentary yourself because I mean, it's not a watch party without Cold Steel's.
Yeah, Aiden just said the amount of people who told him not to cuss during a football game.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember at one point I got so frustrated with that I wrote in capital letters on the screen like I curse. I say bad words.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're not a football fan if you don't curse during the game. I'm sorry.
Especially if you're a Steelers fan.
That's just
and just to be clear, just because I'm running a website now doesn't mean I'm going to let F-bombs go. I'm not going to let F-bombs go. It's going to still happen.
Right.
So
we're not going to be overly obnoxious.
It's just our natural fandom to football in general.
Now, we're not going to be overly obnoxious about it, but
no.
That's the Steelers to determine.
I'm not going to be as bad as I was last season. Again, there was other things going on behind the scenes that kind of affected my mood, but
yeah,
as anyone that knows, I was suffering some scary stuff last year, but
right.
Thankfully, it's not perfect, but things have really improved because of my diet changes and losing the weight and stuff. So
yeah, but that's good that you're much better now, and obviously your focus is on the Steelers Country thing, which obviously. SteelersCountry.com, I do want to point that out. Me and Rob are, I suppose, contributors and I suppose affiliated and associated with it.
Right. It's not like, for those who know, I'm sure there's people that know that once upon a time we had a website, Steel Yinzers.
Yeah.
And it's not in that regard. It's like a door that's always open for the SteelTwins here to come. And if they ever want to write an article, they can do so.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of collaborating in that way.
Exactly.
But there's no like true ownership or responsibilities.
But if you do want to join, or if you want to contribute and write your own articles and your own thoughts about whatever topic the Steelers, of anything, man. It could be anything Steelers history. It could be Steelers now. It could be Steelers future, man. If you want to contribute and write for the website, man, all you got to do is, what do they got to do actually?
There's actually a page that's on the website on the bottom in the footer where they can join the staff. But if they can't find the page for whatever reason, they can always just DM us on Twitter, which is at 412SC. That is our handle. Across the board, Instagram, Facebook. I kind of wished I could have got at Steelers Country, but that ain't happening. So I was actually surprised I even got the domain, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. But
I know there's actually there's some people out there that would enjoy writing about the team and would like to contribute. So,
and if you do, man, absolutely join. Just go to SteelersCountry.com and go to the contact us page and find a way how you can contribute, man. It's costs you nothing, and honestly, bro, it's fun to do. Just talk Steelers football and get your thoughts out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That boy Devin says, is it like Steelers Depot? Well, it kind of depends how you're looking at it. I wouldn't call it Steelers Depot. Like, we're nowhere near what they are. Obviously, they have a good contributor team over there. They got Alex, who is very resourceful. I think they call him the numbers guy.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say it's Steelers Depot, but it kind of is at the same time. It's a blog. So, and you can definitely check it out yourself. I built it all by myself. I'm currently running it by myself. I have Dan from the Twins. GT, I think, did an article. But essentially right now at this moment, I'm running the channel, the website, and I'm going to be launching my podcast in 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
So
And
I think it's 3 weeks.
And that's great. And I'll even mention this, man. If you guys have any mock drafts you guys want to put out, you can do that via Steelers Country. So whatever points you want to get across about what the Steelers should do in the draft or who you think Steelers should grab up, that's your best chance to do it, man. Totally get your opinions out there, create your own mock draft. And I love to see it. I would love to see, you guys' opinions for sure, if you guys want to contribute for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
definitely give us a follow on Twitter, man. I'm really trying to build that up. I think currently we're only at 128 followers, but
it's at 412SC.
Yes.
SC, the letters SC. So
it's very easy to remember.
Very easy to remember. It's simply five digits, bro. It's.
I wish I could have got Steelers Country, but it is what it is.
Sometimes things are taken, man. I mean, someone took your Just Blaze at before, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I just found out today too. I just got to mention this. I want to put this out there just for records. There is a Steelers Country podcast that's already been established for years now. I wasn't aware of that prior to this, but to not cause any confusion, I am going to be calling the podcast SC Podcast Steelers Coverage.
Yeah.
But it'll essentially just be SteelersCountry.com podcast for those who will eventually be interested in that.
Yes.
And yes, the Twins will definitely be featured on that podcast occasionally.
Yeah, whenever we are available.
Correct.
Which hopefully that's pretty soon, actually. But I want to close it with this because we're approaching an hour and it's 10:30 now. So I don't want to hold you up.
And it is Sunday.
Yeah.
Some people work tomorrow, so
exactly. I don't want to hold you too much longer, as well as these viewers.
Well, I'm good.
as well as these viewers, though. Even though I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining, all three of us tonight for sure. You guys are absolute dogs, bro. Absolute beasts.
Yeah, all the time, every time. Can't thank you guys enough, seriously.
But I noticed up in the chat, Eddie Robinson. Shout out to Eddie Robinson. He said, should the Steelers get Baker Mayfield?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you said that would happen.
Yeah, I'm good. Point blank, I'm good. I mean, I just don't see the point of Baker Mayfield coming to Pittsburgh. I really don't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a story to be held there, but no, I'm good too.
Yeah, that is absolute hard fucking no. Hard pass. Baker Mayfield to the Steelers, I don't know where that came from. I don't know who's trying to pass that off as a legit report, but that is not legit. That is not happening. I would never want to see Baker in the black and gold. Absolutely not. Think of Baker how you want with this whole Deshaun Watson bullshit. He sucks.
He's not that great. If you ask me, he can go outside the conference and try his luck there.
Go to the Seahawks, bro.
Dude, the AFC is already stacked with quarterbacks. Go try to make your name in the NFC right now.
Go to the Panthers and hope, for God's sake, Malik Willis drops. Go to the Falcons, for fuck's sake. Absolutely not. Go to the NFC. Go somewhere where you are...
Hey, listen, Baker. Go to the NFC and see if you can hold Tom Brady's rings again. All right. Just stay away from the Steelers, please.
Absolutely not. Baker Mayfield to the Steelers? No, bro. No. And Eddie...
I just seen Leedy said Trubisky is the white Jamarcus Russell. That is not a... I don't know.
That's not even a close comparison.
If he was the white Jamarcus Russell, he would not be employed by anybody.
Not only that, but I mean, Jamarcus Russell's a guy who had a very strong arm, but outside of that, he got fat.
Yeah, bro, he had no care for his career. At least you can tell in Trubisky, he's very passionate about the sport. He's passionate about trying to win. You gotta give Trubisky that.
And by the way, I think the three of us agree. We like what Rudolph said as far as Trubisky goes.
Yes.
that he is going to compete. And I think that was the correct answer. That's what I want to hear from him, actually.
Yeah, that's what you want to hear from any player. You want that competitive nature from all these guys. Even Rudolph. That's what you want.
I think we have a Saints fan that said the Saints are black and gold. I mean, you're not wrong, but the Steelers have historically been the black and gold. Yeah, and I think it's perfectly okay if two teams go black and gold. I don't know why we feel like it's almost like Raiders fans. Oh, it's Raiders Nation, Steelers Nations with a car. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
we are not black and yellow. The only reason that even exists is because Wiz Khalifa made a song, which, by the way, really showcased he had no fucking clue what he was talking about as far as Steelers go.
Yeah.
Across the board.
But the
guy knows nothing about football. The only person I would give credit out of that camp was Mac Miller. He was an actual real Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But as far as Wiz Khalifa, I kind of hate that he made that song because as catchy as it was, it really spawned this incorrect. And you twins, you know how pissed off I get. I know it sounds petty, but
yeah,
I am really like hard ass on that shit, man. Like, it's black and gold. We got to stop this black and yellow crap.
It is absolutely black and gold, bro. Come on.
I just don't want tradition getting screwed up because of a song.
And not one team has rights to a specific color. That's just stupid.
No, I don't know why Saints fans get so bent out of shape over that. Like, I don't get upset that you guys claim black and gold. I mean, you are black and gold. Yeah. We're just two different golds.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just like with several nations, like Raider Nation, Pats Nation, whatever. No.
You can't say nation because we own that word.
Like no team can trademark a word or a color. It's so stupid.
Devin says black and yellow was about his car. That may be true, but unfortunately, the perception was because of the use of the terrible towels.
Yep.
It ended up becoming like a unofficial Steelers anthem.
It was the Steelers 40. It was the Super Bowl 45 Steelers anthem, pretty much.
Which, yeah, and that is the issue. I don't care what he actually like meant behind it underneath the surface. It's what the perception is.
Yeah.
And that perception has spread across a lot of the youth. No offense to some of the younger fans, but it's been adopted, and now we have this incorrect traditions disappearing.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I feel you there. Even though I still listen to it, I still love the song. And
I know it sounds petty on the surface, but I'm kind of like a purist at it. So
I get it.
I'm trying to preserve, man.
Dallas says we need to sign a wide receiver and draft one. I don't disagree. I just don't know if they sign a receiver, man. There's not a lot of really good guys out there that could be brought in. At least when you look at what the Steelers are looking for in terms of age and value.
By the way, I just gotta throw this out there because it really bothers me that other fan bases kind of try to make us out to be like thieves or whatever. Because it's not the first time we've done a live stream and these kind of conversations began.
Right.
I'm going to say this, and nobody's going to be able to change my opinion on this. And it's actually out of facts. No other fan base is as loyal and dedicated as Steelers Nation.
Absolutely.
You know why I say that? And I'm saying this as an unbiased person, and I'm basing it off of what I've heard from people that aren't Steelers fans. You watch certain games, it's always a Steelers fan at the stadium.
Yep.
Which is why they say, there's no such thing as an away game for this team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, we have an entire, and I mean a giant fan base on the other side of this country.
Yes.
In California.
Yes. Pittsburgh West is what we call it.
So there is no comparison between our fan base and any other NFL team. I'm sorry.
If you had any doubt of that, all you have to do is watch Troy Polamalu's Hall of Fame speech. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
Steeler Nation took over Ohio.
And they'll do it again.
They took over Canton.
And they will do it again in 2027.
Hopefully, goddammit, we're there.
In 2027, they're going to do it again when Ben goes in. And
we were supposed to be front row.
I know. We were supposed to see Cower. We were supposed to see Polamalu. Like, I was supposed to see his hair. Okay? I was supposed to see Cower spit flying. I didn't get to watch that growing up because I was too young. That was my chance. Now,
Yeah, 2020 happened.
The pandemic.
I mean, listen, I hope I'm seeing the conversations here. I hope no one's like feeling like because I kind of do feel that way, like I'm overreacting to like a color, but I don't know. I grew up black and gold, man.
Yep.
And when it switches to black and yellow, like when you say yellow, it reminds me of piss, which has been a joke of this team for you. No, we're gold.
Yeah.
It's called yellow gold. Okay. God damn it.
Black and gold is a tradition, and we're going to keep it that way.
At least over here we are. I mean, if anyone else wants to call it black and you go for it, but
Right.
I'm just going to kind of give you a look.
Hey, it's gold.
I'll probably ask you if you were born after like 1999. So
Yeah.
It'll always be gold in our books. That's for sure.
We got a question on Twitter, though, from shout out to Boss Fox on Twitter. He said, trade Norwood at safety if they can't get Matthew or Edmunds. You are implying he would start at strong safety. That is completely out of his reach. That is not the position he's used for. That is not a position he will succeed in.
No, I don't think so.
A strong safety is completely different responsibility. And that is something Norwood cannot hold, at least not right now. As of right now, he is a dime/slot guy.
Yeah.
He's not even a true safety, in my opinion. Not yet. So I don't think starting him opposite Minakh at strong safety would suit him well. And there's a fucking scammer in the chat.
Get him out.
And you could absolutely suck my asshole. Where do these people pop up? Leedy, thank you for deleting. Appreciate you, Leedy. Shout out to Leedy, bro. Shout out to Leedy.
These attention seekers, man, I swear to God.
Paris Ford is available. Free.
So apparently, and I don't mean to get off topic, but this is bizarre.
What's up?
When you said Twitter, I hopped on Twitter quick and I saw that Will and Chris was trending, and for whatever reason, Will Smith just walked up to Chris Rock and slapped the shit out of him. And now everyone's confused as to what the hell just happened.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing the video right now.
Is this? Hold on. Is it the Oscars tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, this doesn't look.
I mean, I don't care for it. Yo.
This doesn't look scripted. So I don't know.
Will Smith is mad.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just walked back to his seat and he's like yelling at him.
He is hollering, bro. He's hollering. Oh, Chris Rock's trying to play it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to know.
I need deeds, bro. I need the backstory.
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
That's out of the blue. That is out of the blue right there.
You know
he slapped the fuck out of him.
Yeah, you know what it is though? I think Will Smith has been taking a lot of crap over the years because of his wife. So I don't know.
Damn. Bro, what the fuck? Yo, I ain't never seen a Fresh Prince that mad.
Random goat, bro. You're good, bro. It's just when you brought that up, I don't want to make it seem like I was attacking you or anything.
No, he's not attacking nobody.
You brought up something that has been, and Twins will tell you, it's just been something that's been burning in me over the years. Yeah, dude, that Will Smith thing's kind of
Will
crazy.
Smith punches Chris Rock and tells him to keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
Oh, shit.
That's on live TV too, bro. He don't give a shit.
No.
Now I need to hear what Chris Rock said.
Apparently he made fun of Jada's haircut. Damn. I've never seen Will Smith do that before.
What the fuck? That's going to be a meme. That's going to be a fucking meme.
On today's generation, you know it. But Jesus.
Okay, I'm actually seeing the full video. Will Smith was smiling. He looks like he was making fun of him or her, and she rolled her eyes. And I guess at some point here, Will gets. When we get off here, I'm gonna definitely
look more.
Oh my god!
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
it's time to wrap it up, man.
I'm just saying. That's like the most interesting thing that's happened to the Oscars in a long time. And I don't watch the Oscars. I don't really care.
That's the most exciting thing that's happened since Leo won an Oscar for the first time. Wow.
And that was what
did I use?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's on Twitter, bro. That's on Twitter.
Damn.
That's all over social media now, bro. You can see that anywhere. There's probably a video on YouTube right now. So search up Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, bro. It'll be right up on anywhere.
Yeah, this thing's gonna be
viral.
This thing's gonna be going viral all night.
That thing's gonna be a meme, man.
Whoa. Okay. Sorry, Chad. I know that is completely off script, but
Now,
You mentioned it, and it's happening.
You just don't see that. So
no, now on live TV.
Green says Will Smith just had a Hancock moment.
Well, apparently, according to RK here, he says there's like a certain reason why she can't grow hair right now, so that makes it even more personal.
Yeah, see, that's fucked up.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. Jeez.
I feel like some people cross the line, and that's what this. It's not just I don't want to say generation, because Chris Rock is from my generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's older than me. So
I grew up watching Chris Rock. We all did. So yeah.
But my point is, in this day and age, regardless of what generation you're from, I feel like people have lost like reality a little bit. Like there's certain lines you don't cross, and that's what we just witnessed. That's literally what we just witnessed. And damn, shout out to Will Smith for defending his wife.
Oh yeah.
Now I guarantee you people are going to say he's emotional, but when your wife's going through something that maybe some people don't know about,
or it's just too personal.
That's gonna piss you off.
And you see Will Smith don't give a fuck if that's on live, ABC.
I mean, if it's something
honestly, that's out of his character. Wow.
I mean, yeah, he could have been a little more professional and spoken to him like a little behind the scenes after the show and all that, right?
At the same time, his name's been dragged through the mud because of, just the weirdness that's coming out of that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the years, and when I say weird, I mean it's just kind of unusual.
Yeah.
And this is like a statement for him, I guess.
Right. That's
Damn.
interesting.
All right, well, I'm gonna get on out of here.
All righty, bro.
I appreciate you guys bringing me on, man.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you on again, man. Glad
First
to have
for
you
the
back.
year, huh?
First for the year, first of many. I hope so.
Oh, that's the plan.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, I'm gonna get on out. You guys take it easy.
All righty, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All righty, that was Cold Steel, man. That was Cold Steel joining us. So shout out to him. Really appreciate him for joining us tonight, talking about what free agents the Steelers could still look into. That includes free agents of our own that we have yet to resign. Hopefully we do resign a few of those, including Edmunds, including Taco this upcoming week. We still have 4 weeks to sign people or re-sign people to fill in other needs before the draft. So we have the cap. We have the time to do so. It's just a matter of how much patience the Steelers Nation have. I know I ain't got none, so they better start doing some shit before I start going crazy. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, they did a lot with the first, week of free agency. More than I think any of us really anticipated.
Yeah, and that's got me craving more.
Yeah, it's craving more, but the past week it's just been so silent.
And I understand that because of pro days. Now I'm starting to think, all right. You got the quarterbacks out the way. You might go to Sam Howell's this week. That's about it. But other than that, bro, start making more moves because you got the cap. I got the hunger.
And there's still a lot of notable names out there that they could potentially look to seek out and bring in.
I hope so, but time will tell with that, man. I don't think Colbert's done. The first wave has settled. Now he's going to get back on that surfboard and start surfing the second wave. I hope so. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will.
We shall see what happens. Valentino, what's good, man? How you been, bro?
Hey, what's good? How you doing?
We just been talking about free agents. Steelers could look into. That includes Edmunds. That includes Taco. I'm going to list the names one more time here for you guys. When we talked about safety, we mentioned Tyrann Mathieu, but that might be out the reach. There's Jabril Peppers. There's Keon O'Neal, 2 first-round pedigree guys that could fit the bill perfectly for the Steelers. And DeMonte Casey, I'll throw his name out there as well. For edge, Taco Charlton we could bring back. If not, there's Tack McKinley, another first-round guy, first-round pedigree. Or there's Arden Key coming off a breakout year as a rotational guy. Could bring him in to fill the same role. Running back, although I see them waiting for a running back in the draft, but I still advocate for a veteran guy that could be Philip Lindsay, Sony Michel, Marlon Mack, or Jerick McKinnon. So those are guys we're looking at. If you guys have any names you want to put as we close out this live stream here, go ahead and put that in the live chat or put that in the comments below. Other names you guys may have in mind, let us know, man. And you guys can look forward to our next mock draft, which will be hopefully uploaded tomorrow night. Well, not tomorrow night, Wednesday night. Hopefully it's recorded and edited by tomorrow night. We will be doing a mock hopefully again tomorrow with Steel Sentinel. We're going to be doing a collab with him. Our first collab with him this year with the mock draft season, which should be interesting. We do one every year, which is always fun. It's always a great honor to talk football with him and the draft and talk prospects. So I'm interested to see what he's got going with this upcoming mock since, I think this is both of our first post-free agency mocks, seeing what the Steelers have done. So
this should definitely be a very interesting and fun collaboration with Steel Sentinel.
Absolutely. So you guys can look forward to that. Hopefully Wednesday will be uploaded, but that will be the first of our final 3 mock drafts that will be uploaded post-free agency, which you guys can look forward to as we lean in closer towards April and, of course, the NFL draft for 2022, which I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what any team's going to do, but that's the exciting part of it because any way you think the draft's going to go, you know it won't go, and you love it that way.
Yeah.
You love the emotion. You love the shock. You love it all. So, anyway, guys, we're going to call it a night. Thank you guys for joining us in this last-second impromptu live stream. I know we had it scheduled pretty late, but you guys still join us, and you guys kick ass for that. You guys are beasts. You guys are loyal guys, man. Absolutely love you guys.
Love and appreciate every single one of you. You guys' support is absolutely mind-blowing to me and Dan both. It really is.
Absolutely.
Can't thank you guys enough every single time we upload a video or go live or just, bullshit around, talk Steelers football or whatever's going around the NFL or even just Will Smith smacking the heck out of Chris Rock.
Yeah, which is totally going around social media now and will continue. Will probably be an absolute meme. I know I'm probably going to download the clip for meme purposes on Twitter. But that's how it goes around nowadays. But you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And let's start off the week tomorrow with a really strong day for all you guys and set the tone for a strong week, man, as we lean into the first week of April. It will be April Fools on Friday. So close out March very strong. And hopefully we can do the same, man. So you guys have a great rest of your week, a great rest of your month, and hopefully open up April very strongly, man. So see you guys, I suppose, Wednesday for the next mock, man. Love you guys. Have a great one.
And like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace!